Nutrition, it's the one thing that we all struggle from. I don't care how old you are, where you are, at what stage you are in life. Nutrition can always be better. Now, I myself am a 49-year-old man. I'm nearly 50 years old. And the reason why some of you may have asked me and continue to ask me, hey, why don't you post your workouts? Well, here's why I don't really post my workouts is because I think working out is overrated personally for me. Please don't shoot the messenger here. This is just observation that I've made. I think workout videos have taken social media by storm. And I didn't want to just be another dude that's just knocking out like really cool looking superhero type videos. One, I'm not a superhero. Two, I look nothing like the Mike Thurstons and the beast mode guys bodybuilding, and I'm absolutely shredded and chiseled now. There's potential to get absolutely shredded. So I'm on my pathway there. Right now I'm sitting at about 12% body fat. Definitely a little bit more to go. I think it's that last couple of layers where I would literally see my abs pop. So I just finished doing my ab routines this morning. In fact, I'm 21 hours fasted now. I stopped eating at 2:15 yesterday, and I wasn't hungry. Got all my macros and nutrients. The reason why I have this as a backdrop today, and this is one of my rare videos that I am able to actually talk through and not stutter, not get nervous, not get anxiety, not get tensed up, is because this subject here is near and dear to me personally. And the reason why I said it and prefaced it that way is walking alleviates my anxiety. Walking helps my sensors, right? Sometimes it's overstimulation through the day, through social media, through news, through just Twitter, X as they call it now. And sometimes I have a really hard time finding my energy, the chi in martial arts, as they say, the flow. And I'm not able to project properly sometimes. So I struggle with that. And if you are experiencing the same anxiety symptoms, you're not alone. We're in this together, right? And there's no shame in admitting that. So the reason why the words are coming out nice and clear is, one, this is an epiphany moment for me right here at this very moment. Is I've posted nutrition videos before, but I don't think I've been this deliberate about stopping everything that I was doing before I break my fast. My kitchen is on that side there. Before I break my fast, I know I wouldn't have the zest, the energy. I always have energy, but I know that the spirit, what I'm experiencing right now through this 21st hour of my fasting, nearly 24 hours if you think about it, is the magic again. I'm experiencing the magic of the fasting window, and I want to prolong this just a little bit longer. What you're seeing on the B-rolls are my ab routines that I did this morning, right after my walk. So I dropped a video this morning around why every man must prioritize periods of isolation, deep focus, doing the inner work. I think it's so important for every guy out there. I don't care if you're a teenager, under 18. The sooner you can start, the better your life will be, simply in the long haul. Look at me, I'm nearly 50 years old. I didn't start my self-improvement journey until I was really 31, 32, although I had all these sports behind my backdrop: martial arts, soccer, dance, gymnastics, hockey, rugby, cricket. I've always been very athletic. And if I was to drill this down to two major sports, well, actually another one, dance. I grew up as a hip hop dancer. I have dance in my veins. So if I dialed it down to two, martial arts and soccer, or martial arts and dance, those are the three pillars that really hold me up nicely: flexibility, mobility, durability, agility, all of those great things outside of weightlifting. So you may have seen my gym, my indoor gym, which is on the other side of this apartment duplex condo that I have, which is about 1,000 square feet. This is a really pretty nice place for one person. This is my secret sauce, guys. There is no magic formula, guys. Let me pause. There is no magic formula. If you are in your 30s, I'm itching. All of the walking and moving I've been doing, just itching right now. And then I'm full of energy and I'm full of life and ideas, right? So I want to stop everything and record this and say, I don't care if you're 25, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70. You get the point. Is this right here. This This is what you will consume, meaning that you dictate the rest of your life by following a protocol. Listen, if you get to a stage, I don't always follow this, by the way, because I have a good system down. Like, I know my body, I know how I operate, and I have a good sense because I'm so in tune with my inside, my system, my spirit, and my digestion process. The most important thing is I'm aware of my biological clock and the process my body undertakes. We're all different. How you process carbs, you may have a six pack or a four pack and have no impact. But for me, I'm different. My body, as much as I am just like the other person with a sweet tooth, I am horrible at it. But I know that carbs for me really just take a back seat, meaning that it just stunts my progress. And you can make arguments for all kinds of diet. What I find for me, and this is tried, proven, and tested, is the carnivore diet works very, very well for me. And so, god damn my allergies. So I chose the carnivore lifestyles because it causes less inflammation in my gut. I'm about 80% carnivore, I would say. I just found the digestion process a lot easier. My bowel movement improved. I wasn't as foggy anymore. A lot of my ailments, my joint pains at an older age, through all those combative sports that I've been doing, competitive sports, have subsided. I have some scars from my prior years in training, martial arts, and all the combat sports that I was in. A lot of rough and tumble that people would consider today as toxic masculinity is, in fact, testosterone boosting activities that have gotten me here to the finish line. And I'm not saying I'm finished, meaning that I'm nearly 50, guys. So there's a wealth of knowledge I'm sharing with you. And the only way for me to transfer this knowledge into you and to anyone struggling out there with a gut, like big gut like this sticking out, see, this is pretty solid. And so I know we want to bust that gut, guys. I know you don't feel good when you have your dress shirt like that. You can see the bulge and you just deal with it. But every day you wake up, instead of dealing with it, it's dealing you a card. It's telling you that you're a little, you know what, right? So let's go back to this. You may have been reading this very carefully right now, right? And trying to figure out, okay, what is this guy got on the board, right? This is my vision board, by the way. So this is my YouTube, as you can see here. I have a couple of faceless channels that I'm working on, and I have some goals, right? I like to write things down. Psychologically, there's a big attraction energy pull is when you write your goals down. When you write your goals down, you are putting your thoughts into paper, onto the board. You are letting your thoughts come into. So what happens every day is I see this visual. You see it every single day. You're seeing it. You're reinforcing it, subconscious. Because you know what? If you don't reinforce all of this, social media, the news, politics, political parties is what I was trying to say, will influence you, and you will essentially be their puppet. So, which is why I am not everyone's cup of tea. I may be a little rough around the edges on how I say things and how off the cuff I am and how real I am. It's not well received by the common man, or depending on how you voted, but it's just some people just don't receive it well. But I have a select few that may be looking at my authenticity, right? And being able to connect it, because after all, see, I'm so passionate, is everything that we see online is a facade. There's no realness to it. And this is the time for me to turn the switch on and bring the reality, the realness, the rawness, the ruthlessness, right, into this thing called life. Because life is hard as we know it, especially if you're a man. Life is hard being a man today. Everything that we do emasculates us, right? They want us on the donuts. They want us on pizza. They want us on sugar. Like, sugar is the demon in that sense for me personally. Now, some cases and some other influences lifestyle, and depending on what their framework is, this is not a diss on them, but for me, I can control my sugar. In fact, I've detoxed off sugar. I go periods of my life where I detox and I get back on it, meaning like I would get some extra sugar from a dessert every now and then on a date with my girl, right? Oh, my ex-girlfriend. Fruits, fructose, it's everywhere, so it's hard to miss it. But if you can control it and know your limits, and that there's no limits, but if you know where you're going to go overboard and just sort of sketch that and draw the line there, you're winning, my friend. You're winning. Look at the nutrition. So I've set my target right at about 2,000. This is 2,028 calories to be exact. I don't track my carbs. I don't really track the carbs. My carbs is because it's a byproduct. It's a non-essential nutrient in that sense. Carbs are the non-essential. You have proteins, you have fats, and you have carbs, right? I put more emphasis on my lifestyle. Again, this doesn't have to do with age, but I've always noticed that with a combination of carnivore eating moderate to lots of meat, combined with vegetables and just cutting out processed foods by at least 70-80%, you're going to have some moments where you eat processed foods. I'm not saying don't be human, but if you can dial 60-70% of this method that I'm trying to teach you and influence you, if you may, it's going to bode well. And here's why I say that is because I'm nearly 50, guys. So today is April, May, June, July. In 3 months or less, I'll be 50 years old. And I am, it's my duty to pave this forward. You see this here, this beard? This is, I've trimmed, this is why I'm saying this. It's a nice beard, I know. It's black. You can't color this. Like, there's no way I could not color this for the life of me if I tried it. One, it's too damn time consuming, and I wouldn't be. I don't have time to pluck every single white hair out. I have some grays, I have some whites, but it's just you can't. The ratio of the black that covers my face here, the hair. This is testosterone. This is good hormones. I'm in balance. I don't take any TRT. I don't take any growth hormones. I don't take any kind of anything that's performance enhancing. I don't do any of that. I'm not a big guy, like really. I'm 155 pounds. I'm in the best shape of my life. I've never been this. I mean, even look, I just look like a kid, like an average guy. Like I'm not even flexing. Look, like okay, fine. Like there's muscle there, right? But for me, this is the best version. I haven't even worked out today. I did my ab routines, but I haven't done arms to get on the camera and say, look, bro, I'm big. I'm not trying to fool you guys like that because I want you to see me as just a very normal. I'm just normal looking guy. Some people say you look like a kid. I think so. I think so. And you got to reap the fruits, the benefits of all the hard work you've done. Sleep, gallon of water every single day, walking your 10,000 steps every single day, focusing on managing your stress and cutting out people. And that's where periods of isolation go a milestone for you. You could be extending your life by listening to advice like this is because look at me. And then also I'm looking at the people who are no longer here on this planet, have passed away in their 20s, 30s, 40s, and early 50s and so forth, right? So many early deaths going on, so many sudden deaths going on, unexpected. Corporate life, I made a video last year about why are corporate people fat. There's not a diss on corporate people, 9 to 5, hardworking people, overworked, mind you, and they are working for the paycheck, and I get it, I am that guy too, but I'm very conscious that you got to balance it out. At somewhere, stress is going to show, and with time over age, we don't unfortunately go backwards, we go we cannot turn the clock backwards. In fact, we go forward. And a lot of times, if you don't manage your diet, your nutrition, and all of these stress in the environment, right, it takes us forward to a place where we don't want to go and we don't look forward to. But going back here, I mean, you can probably read it, but I customize my diet around 2,000 calories. You can get fairly lean on just 2,000 calories, and you'll be surprised with the right calories, with the right foods. You can be lean and even ripped AF. You know what I mean? My problem is I haven't been doing a lot of endurance training as of lately, and I just got back into consistently sprinting every week. And you can see that on my channels, my videos. I'm doing like this, like my videos, and on my YouTube channel, I do quite a few sprinting feedback videos and provide you that insight. And so I'm now finally being able to, I'm getting into a very shredded zone in that I'm heading there, at least I can feel it. 3 breakfast turkey links, a cheese slice, believe it or no, this is good to know your nutrient partitions, right? 6 grams of protein on just the regular square cheese. And you please just read the nutrient Always read the labels at the back. It may not be 100% correct, but it's giving me a benefit, and I'm showing up differently, and I have some sort of a definition, right? So I'm paving it forward, right? Berries, which is really 80 cups, 80 calories total. Sometimes I'll throw in a banana if I'm having oatmeal or banana with the yogurt. And some days I don't even have the banana. So you scratch that 105 calories out. Two chicken leg quarters, right? This is a total, each leg quarter has about 221 calories. Now, if you think about that, that's a lot of calories, but you're getting the best bang for your buck, in my opinion, is because you're getting at least somewhere between the ranges of 26 to 31 grams of protein in just one leg quarter. You eat two, and I season it with my own spices and herbs, and you can do you and do yours. Don't go too overboard with the sauces now, because that's the culprit, right? So sauces, 2 to 3 tablespoons will not take you freaking way over 240 calories, right? 60 calories, 70 calories per tablespoon. And we just like to pour it on before you know it, you've blown your calories, right? So easy on that. I say I like spicy food. So sriracha for me works very well, low on calories, and it just gets an extra kick. Pickles, onions and whatnot. But two of this is 442 calories. 62 grams of protein that you have gotten just from those two leg quarters, folks. So just keeping that in perspective. Most people either around 120 to 150, 160 grams of protein, which is plenty for you to maintain your lean muscle mass. And I'm talking about the lean guys, just weighing around 160, 170 pounds. I mean, I know guys in shape that are not even tracking their protein at all, right? They have a balance of carbs and protein and lower fats. So you can adjust your nutrients as you start seeing your results, your personal results. But right now, if you're trying to drop the weight, I say focus more on the protein and then up your fats and down your carbs to a quick, release of fat and water weight, because each gram of calorie, from carbs, it holds water. So carbs has 4 grams. Carbs has about 4 grams of 4 grams of carbs, right? It holds double the water weight in that sense. So if you're consuming like 4 grams of carbs, that's like 8 grams of water that it sort of holds in your stomach, your gut. Like that's the rough and dirty math. Don't hold me to the numbers, but the more carbs you eat, chances are it's probably holding a lot of water. And the more processed carbs you're eating, that's you just inflaming your body, right? I sometimes will dabble in like a chicken sausage, a chicken apple sausage, different flavors of a grocery store, just to spice things up and give it a different taste every now and then. So I'll interchange the sausage with the breakfast turkey links, and I will just sometimes cut this into a million pieces, and it's going to look like it's a lot. But if done right, this is only 200 calories, 12 grams of protein. It's kind of on the lower end of the protein spectrum, but still, it's a lot better than a candy bar, than eating chocolate, right? And you can go through 2 Snickers bars and still keep wanting more. I would substitute with this: a tasty chicken apple sausage, avocado, onion, spinach, eggs. It'll go a long way. It's a little pricey on the calorie side, though, I will say, but it's a gamble. You have to sort of build this in and figure it out as you eat, right? And see how your body responds to it. Again, you can't go too wrong with it. Then I take 2 scoops of whey protein. I take a special Arbonne protein shake. I've posted it in my videos before. If I remember to post it in post-production, I will include that. But it's not hard to find your favorite protein choice. Now, I am lactose intolerant, so a different story and a different process for me. This one has no dairy, so it does really well for me. 2 scoops, quality scoops, high-grade protein, vegan protein, of all things, coffee flavor, does very well for me. And I'm not a vegan, but this is the best protein shake personally I've found that tastes so good and doesn't give you that feeling like it's sitting there and you get the tired, bloated feeling. I don't feel any in this. So if you're interested, if you want me to make the connection to this person, the girl that I'm working with, happy to do so. It gives me 48 grams of protein. So just hold up, stay with me. Let's say we round this up to 50 grams of protein, right? 50 grams of protein is pretty decent. You've got like half your day's protein for an average guy. Let's just say you got half you hit your Protein, I'm so excited. You hit half your protein numbers, right? So you 50 grams, let's just round it up there. Earlier, we had 62 grams of protein, chicken, 2 leg quarters. So 62 plus 50 grams of protein. Let's just say, call it 110 grams of protein right there. Let's pause. Let's pause. Let's think about that. I am so juiced up at those numbers. If you're not excited like me to see the cheat code here, this is a fast track, guys. You've got 62 grams from chicken leg quarters, about 50 grams of protein with the protein shake. 50 plus 60 gets you about 110 grams. That's a lot of protein. And you know what? The best thing here, 442 calories, 200 calories from your protein shake. So if you add 442 plus 200, you're only 642 calories into your day. Talk about maximizing your protein intake and still being in a calorie deficit. Off the 2,000 calories, I'm only 600 calories in or so, give or take. Do you see the math? So this is the number that I subtract from on a daily basis. I don't have to necessarily look at this board to figure out how I'm going to adjust my nutrients, macronutrients for the day. I now know, I look at this every single day. On the other side, I have another whiteboard. I look at this every single day with a lot more foods on there, food groups. And after a while, what happens is you develop a sense of consistency, discipline around how you eat, what you eat, and the frequency, right? If this has struck a chord with you, let me hear it. Reach out to me. If you're having the aha moment, this is that aha moment, right? This I have single-handedly demonstrated to you with a little bit of self-control how you can eat less, eat for results, eat in a calorie deficit, which is where you need to be to bust that gut and drop the weight, and still have some calories to spare where you can build in your cheat meal. I personally don't think there's such thing as a cheat meal, but if you have a treat that you must have and it's a sweet tooth and it's 100 calories, 150 calories, you could even fit in one donut here in the intermittent fasting lifestyle. Okay? I don't advise it, I don't recommend it, but if you're just starting off this lifestyle and you're wondering what intermittent fasting looks like as an older man, at any age actually, but I find that if the older you are, this is the lifestyle, intermittent fasting and designing your nutrients for the day bodes very well. You get some immediate results and you combine this. I've been talking for a while. Water, your relationship and the fresh taste of water. A lot of us take water for granted. Our water intake is low as well. Moving on, 3 eggs. Don't forget the omegas, but eggs are one of the cleanest, one of the most highest sources of protein you can get. I normally do 3 eggs a day, and all the stuff that pharmaceuticals tell you that eggs cause you heart attacks and calories and not calories. I can't think of the word right now, but 3 eggs and shoot, why can't I think of the word? All the stuff, the report cards they tell you, right? Cholesterol. There we go. Why am I drawing a blank? Yes, there's some truth to that, but it's not going to kill you. If anything, they just don't want strong guys, strong men, masculine. This boosts testosterone as well. I do 3 eggs every day. Total 216 calories once again. Way better than a candy bar. Best bang for your buck. You're getting 18 grams of protein on that pop right there. You can do 4 eggs if you want, but 2 to 3 eggs for me is fine. Then I do this one yogurt. For me, what works well is the Chobani, Chobani. If you know, you know. You can also do Greek yogurt, but it's got 0 sugar, 140 grams. Best bang for your buck, 20 grams of protein, right? Egg whites is money. Next to eggs, I will not scramble, but I will just make egg whites. Usually 1 cup will yield you 85 calories. Best bang for your buck, 18 grams of protein, guys. Okay. Then my guilty treat in the quote, the good fat, right? Avocado, 240 grams of 240 calories, right? 3 grams of protein, which is not here nor there. But I'm literally consuming avocado with my eggs is because 1, for taste, but 2, good fats. Avocados are really good for you. This video is not about avocados. So let me just get that straight. Then here I've built other protein sources. See, I'm not blocking it. Beef patties and salmon, right? So I could interchange the two leg quarters. Maybe I'm sick and tired of eating leg quarters as my base, right? Which is, and I do get tired of protein. Eating protein, it requires a lot of due diligence, effort, commitment, but also it can be very boring if not paired with the right food. So I'll take the leg quarters out, insert beef patties, right? One beef patty, the one I eat, is very clean, but it's got 350 grams, 350 calories for one patty, right? But it's got 23 grams of protein. So a little high on the calorie side, which is understandable. Just it's got a little bit more fats, but those are good for you. Those are animal fats. That's why it's a little, dense in that sense, if that's the right word. But 350 calories for one patty, 23 grams of protein. You have two of these. This is about 700 calories, 46 grams of protein, right? You can substitute the two leg quarters, or you can combine whatever suits your taste bud, right? And start doing the math really quick here. And then salmon usually is around 200, 240 calories, one palm size salmon. Get you 18 grams of calories. Also, you get your omega 3s in there, right? You see how I'm speaking through this very freely. If I was to add the 2,300, so we're looking at about 2,600 calories right here, just on this, give or take a little bit. Folks, if I eat at 2,600 calories, right, I could be a lot bigger, meaning that my body composition is going to change. And at some point, I'm going to start eating at maintenance. My maintenance is about 25, 26, 2,700 calories, and I can eat more than that. But I like my physique right now. I like how fast I am, how agile I am. I'm super quick. I'm very athletic. My background in martial arts, so all the stuff that I do on this channel. I don't want to toot my own horn at this point, but hopefully I've been able to paint a picture for you all that are struggling to start. It's folks. It's less about the gym membership and Gold's Gym or whatever gym you want to go to and flex. It's less about the Instagram selfies that you take and wonder why you don't look like. If you stop the comparisons game, get off social media, detox all of that, focus on the deep inner work. When no one's watching, that's what matters. When no one's watching is what you're putting in your mouth, right? This is going to dictate. I can't stress this enough. You could give me the fanciest workouts and the next fitness gadget and the next fitness equipment and the watch, right? The technology that measures it. None of that goes until you walk the mile, until you take your 10,000 steps, until you drink a lot of the water. I drink a gallon of water every single day. But see, to carve and shape and get your body to look the way you want it to, or at least get to where you want to 70%, 70% right here. You follow this diet, man. I used to laugh at influencers like myself back in the day. I was like, look at this guy. Who does he think he is talking all this mumbo jumbo, blah, blah, blah. He's just talking. There's a lot of truth to this, man. I am nearly 50 years old. I mean, I am 49, 50 years old, guys. I am doing something right that works. So at the very least, at least out of respect for the OG, because I'm an OG, even though I don't look like it, I'm an OG giving advice, saying the sooner I had adopted this sort of a structure to my life, structure is good for you. Yes, sometimes you can go off the cuff, and yes, you can be wild and do wild things because you're a young man. I get it. But this structure will always be here for you. Just remember that. All is not lost. You're not depressed. All is not lost. You're not depressed. Okay? You're not going to do anything stupid. This is what you're going to do. Find yourself a piece of paper. I say get yourself a whiteboard and start your affirmations. Start writing this down, man. You start writing this shit down. Do that. Because a lot of Gen Zs are out of shape. There are some Gen Zs that I've seen in their mid-20s looking older than I am. And this is not a diss on that population. My niece and nephews, cousins are in their 20s or so forth. So this is not a diss. What I'm saying is not a diss. It's more like waking you up to reality. Like media, pharmaceuticals, doctors, they won't tell you all this. They won't tell you all this. In fact, you're feeding into their narrative the more you're eating those processed foods and cheat day every day, all day, bro. Party all night, no sleep, drinking alcohol, killing yourself, toxicity. They're not going to tell you this. They're not going to give you this advice. You're paying them tax money, right? But they're not going to help you this way. So I count on the fitness community. I count on the Gen X's and even the boomers that have done it before me. But now it's my time to give back and make you the coolest 30-year-old there is. You know, the future is bright. Your dating lives are going to improve. You're going to have more options, guys. I'm not just barking this out. You can see my Instagram, although I haven't posted my ex-girlfriends on there anymore, but they're here on my channel. There's some flashbacks of my past girlfriend that I dated who was Colombian girl, and we just ended about 3 weeks ago. So I'm using this period of really locking in, focusing in. I haven't really drank any alcohol since we broke up, and I don't miss it. I can have a glass or two here or there because I'm locking into this. Right? Just remember, give yourself a caloric mark, metrics. Put metrics around your diet that are measurable. I need some water. Please stay with me, Dal. I'm going to wrap this up. We fail to measure. We fail to track our steps. We fail to put it on the wearables. MyFitnessPal that I don't use anymore. This is where I got all of this from, how to break down every nutrient. Just remember, the steps, whether it's a 200, 300, 400 steps off, give or take, is not so important than you realizing that you have to create a process. So these numbers can be a little off. Like it's not 100% accurate, but it's good enough for me to get my results, right? There's a lot of truth. It's very close to being accurate. And that's what I'm trying to have you see, that mindset, the fact that if you don't have structure and if you're blindly just out there hoping for the best, the hope strategy is not going to do it for you guys. It's not going to work, right? 100% structure. So take it from me, an older man, passing on the message to the younger guys, the younger men, and even guys in my age grouping. You know, I have men asking me all the time, "How do I look like you? You're cool, man. How do you move like that? Like, how do you look this way?" You know, they'll always have this gesture like, "Man, how do you look GQ? How do you look this way?" You know, and I'm like, and the reason why I started this channel is because of those very compliments. So I should thank people like yourself, even though I don't know who you are, but people like yourself outside every day remind me, I want to look like you, man. Like you got the hot girl. Your dating life is seems to be thriving, and not always, but for the most part, I'm getting a lot of attention. And a lot of my men will ask me, "Hey, man, how do I look like that? Where's your shirt from?" "This is from Target, $12." You know, I was losing so much water weight. Like this is muscle, but like I had to fold this up because I'm thinning away. These shirts don't fit me anymore. It's loose for me. Now, what a great problem to have. You know, my stomach used to stick out on this shirt once upon a time, and now I don't have that gut. I was 175, 80 pounds, right? I was just sucking my stomach, and I don't need to do all that, man. Wouldn't you like to be there? If you're my fellow Gen Xer, wouldn't you like this lifestyle? Wouldn't you like to trade places? Okay, so I'm giving you the blueprint here. And if you don't have the mindset behind it, if you need someone to coach and walk you through this every single day, hey, maybe that's where I can come in handy and talk to you, because I know there's more to life than just this structure here. There are other elements to life. Things happen. Everyone has a backstory. I'm very familiar with it. Psychology, your childhood, who's around you, right? There's other life stories, right? I'm not a life coach, but when I get to this age, and if I'm living my life as honestly as I can, and I'm doing this for you all, for myself, but for you all, I'm trying to vibe and connect the dots here with people. I'm doing a service. I'm not holding on to information. But then 90% of the battle in life is what you do when others are not watching. When the lights go up, there's no limelight, there's no social media, there's no filters where you can swipe through and make things look pretty, you know? That's fake. You want to be fake? No, right? You want to hear it from here, like people like myself and others, way better than I am. So if you are in that space where you need someone, to help you flip and switch the mindset. In 1 month, you will see changes. And I promise, I guarantee it. Guarantee it. I live by this. Guarantee it. And in 3 months, you're going to be a beast. So if you'd like to connect with me, if you found this information that I presented to you this way, I want to break my fast shortly. You know, please, by all means, the least you can do is like, of course, subscribe, pass it on, and just make fun of me and say, man, this guy's 49 years old. He's old, but look at this guy. I get surprised. I say, look at myself too. I'm like, holy cow, man, you look clean, is what I say. And so if I don't appreciate my own very work and myself, humbly speaking, when do I? When would I? This is the time. And what better way to do it than with you all? I'm long winded, so I'm going to end the video, but I think there's enough value in here for you to pull from and draw from. Please share. And if you would like to work with me, you know how to get a hold of me. All my content, my information, contact information is in my links. Okay? I love you all. Take care of your health. Walk 10,000 steps. Drink a gallon of water today. And just remember, have structure behind your life. Have discipline. And that's where winning happens. Kobe, Jordan, goat to goat. Rest in peace, Mamba. With that said, Mamba out.